my name's Claire and this is Stitch Sew. Thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Today's video is going to be a Friday Sews video. Friday Sews was created by the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and it's just a great way to bring the sewing community together. Lots of lovely vloggers are posting videos under that hashtag Friday Sews. So thank you so much to Jen for starting the hashtag, and do check out Jen's channel and check out the hashtag Friday Sews on YouTube, and you will find an absolute host of lots of lovely YouTubers posting under the hashtag. Before I get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's been watching my previous videos, everybody that's commented and liked and subscribed. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. If you do like today's video, I'd love it if you'd give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. That would be fantastic. So as I said, that today's video is a Friday Sews video. So I'll be going into a little bit about what I've been up to this week in terms of sewing, a little bit of life, some fabric I've been buying, some patterns, and things that I've got planned for the rest of the week. So if that interests you, please stick around with me today. So in terms of what I've been up to this week, last weekend was the bank holiday weekend for Easter, so we had a lovely weekend catching up with family and friends. I think we did something each day, which was really lovely to catch up with family and friends, as I say, and just have some time socialising, some good food, a little bit of drink. Yeah, really lovely time over that weekend. I didn't do a huge amount of sewing over the weekend, or even indeed the week, but I have got some things to show you, and I'll crack on with that now. The first item that I made was actually for a pattern test, so I can't show that one with you, but I will share that with you in a couple of weeks time when that pattern is hopefully released. But I have made an item for Selfless Sew April 22. Now this is a challenge that is being hosted by the lovely Crystal from my social thread, Adele from Sew for Serenity, and myself. And the idea is that you sew up something for somebody else during the month of April, and you post on the 30th of April your makes using the hashtag Selfless Sew April 22. So one of the items that I discussed, I think last week in my Friday Sews, but also in my Selfless Sew April 22 ideas and inspiration video that I brought out a couple of weeks ago, was that I wanted to sew up some pyjamas for my husband. Now the pattern that I've used is the Elia Mac Adult Classic PJs pattern. This is a free pattern. It's a fantastic pattern. There's loads of different options, so do check it out. It's a unisex pattern, so caters for everybody, so do check out that pattern. And I sewed it up using this stripy fabric, grey stripy fabric. This is the top. I haven't got round to getting any photos of my husband in it yet. He's a little bit camera shy, so I will take some photos sort of it hanging on a hanger, so apologies that the photos won't be fantastic, but hopefully it'll just be, you'll be able to see it a little bit better than here. The crew neck option I've found some ribbing fabric that is very close match. It's not absolutely perfect in terms of the grey match, but it's not bad at all, and it's super soft, this particular ribbing fabric. I got it from Pound Fabrics, and I've done it on the cuffs as well, and then I've just turned up the hem, well, I've overlocked and turned up the hem and done a twin needle stitch on there. Now I did buy some Maraflex, Gutterman Maraflex thread to have a go at just being able to, you know, sew with a normal stitch rather than having to do a stretch stitch, but I didn't have a great success with it, if I'm honest with you, which I was a little bit disappointed with. The stitches seem to be skipping. I don't have that, I've never really had that problem on my machine before, so if anybody's got any tips in relation to using the Maraflex thread, I'd be really pleased to hear. If you could just pop them in the comments below, I'd be really grateful. Have you used it? Have you had success with it? What am I doing wrong? Any tips that I can use that a little bit more successfully? So anyway, I've just gone back to a twin needle on the round the neckband and on the hem. So that's the top. And then for the bottoms, I have just done again, obviously in a knit stretch fabric, but the pattern also, you can use woven fabric too. Just sort of a standard pajama bottom. It's got a nice sort of good pocket there. Pocket has slightly stretched out when I also twin stitched along that that edge there. It's very slightly stretched out, but you know, they're pajamas, so I'm not too worried about that. It's got a hem band, it's got some elastic in there, and the addition that I made to this pattern that wasn't included in the pattern is that I've added a cuff, because that's what my husband wanted. I very slightly tapered the leg in more than the pattern, and I've obviously cut the pattern leg off a little bit shorter, and then I just drafted a cuff pattern cuff piece. So hopefully these will fit him quite nicely. He seems to be quite happy with them. So yeah, that was my make for the week that I can show you. Now, last week I talked about sewing up a piece of fabric to sew up the Paddington top. This is the piece of fabric that I was talking about. It's this gorgeous white cotton fabric with these feathers on there, greeny feathers with black and a pinky kind of tone to them. I was talking about sewing up the Paddington top for the Sew April Blouse 22 challenge. As you can see, I haven't got around to doing this one yet, but I did lay out the pattern pieces onto the piece of fabric to see whether I had enough fabric, and I don't think I can squeeze that particular pattern out. The sleeves on the Paddington are really quite large in terms of the pattern piece, and I just don't think I've got enough fabric to squeeze this on. I've only got 1.5 meters. Now, I was fairly confident before I did that I would have enough, because I made the Paddington before and I'm pretty sure that I got it out of about 1.5 meters of fabric. But it must have been a slightly wider fabric that I used, and I think that's why I managed to pattern Tetris those pieces on. So I've had a bit of a rethink about this one, and the lovely Adele from Sofa Serenity had gifted me this pattern, which is the Sagebrush top by Friday Pattern Company. This is obviously just a black and white printout, but I'm probably about the only person in the sewing community yet to still sew this top up, and I've had my eye on it for ages. It's again a puff sleeve type top, which obviously the Paddington top is as well, and I think the little ruffle across the front is really cute, and it's got kind of a tie bit at the back, which you use kind of bias binding around the front, and then it loops round to the back to make kind of a keyhole and tie bit just here. I don't know how well that's going to come up. I'll pop some pictures in if that's not coming up too well for you. What I really like about Friday Pattern Company sizes is that they go from an extra small right up to a 7X. Now that's a bust size of 32 to 33 for the extra small, right up to a 59 to 60 inch bust. So yeah, really great in terms of sizing. Plus there's a reasonable amount of ease in the top. So the 7X size, the finished garment size on the full bust measurement is 67 inches. So a really sort of size inclusive pattern, I think this one is. And Friday Pattern Company are really good as far as that is concerned. So I'm looking forward to sewing this one up. So this is what I'm definitely looking to sew up this week. I know I said I was looking to sew up last week, but this is the week to do it. But of course I do have some other plans in the back of my mind that I'd like to sew up, and that brings me on to some fabric that I've been buying with those patterns in mind. The first fabric that I thought I'd share with you is just a piece of viscose fabric that is kind of a linen look fabric. Now, in a previous video I spoke about the fact that the white feather fabric is a little bit on the sheer side and that I might need some sort of cami type top underneath. So I picked up this piece of fabric to make an Etty camisole from Tammy Handmade. I've got a metre here. I think that should be more than enough to make a cami top from, and I'll just sort of, if needed, I'll pop that underneath, but also I just think a little cami for the summer time would be really useful. I'm thinking that I will widen the straps a little bit. I saw, I think it was Frugalissima, Sam from Frugalissima had also done that, and I also think Kath from Made by Kath Craft has also done the same sort of thing of widening the straps just to obviously cover the bra strap a little bit more. So I think I will do that as well. So I might not get round to sewing that up this week, but certainly that is on the list of things to do, and that's what I had in mind when I bought this piece of fabric. The next couple of fabrics I bought to go together, and it is a piece of French terry in this mustardy tone with these gorgeous little flower design on, white flowers with black, and obviously a different type of flower there. And then I've bought some ribbing fabric. Now I have bought the Made It Pattterns, I think it's Made It Pattterns, hug hoodie. Now this is a pattern that's been super popular in the sewing community, and yes, I have been shamelessly influenced by other Instagram people who have posted gorgeous pictures of their hug hoodies, and I'm going to pop a picture in of the hug hoodie. You can obviously make it with a hood, or you can just do a crew neck, but it's got this gorgeous sort of crossover detail on the bottom, and I just think it's really quite unusual, not something that you would see on the high street. I've certainly never seen something similar on the high street, and I just thought that'd be really, really nice. And I've bought a French terry because it's not as thick, so I thought it would be ideal for the sort of spring summer in the UK. Even when it's summertime, we generally always need to make sure we've got an additional layer because we never quite know what the weather is going to be doing. We sometimes get a little spell of very hot weather when this would not be appropriate, but generally we would always need to have an extra layer with us because you're never quite sure what the weather's going to be doing. So I still think it will be appropriate for the spring summertime, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm hoping I need to get the fabric washed, and I'm hoping that I might get this one sewn up this week, so I'm really, really excited about it. The last fabric that I've bought is this cotton fabric. It's a cotton poplin. It's got a very dark green background to it with sort of a brighter tealy, between a tealy and a mint colour green leaf design, and I just think it's really, really nice. There's no direction to it as far as I can tell, so I'll be able to hopefully use as much as possible of it. I've got a couple of meters of this fabric, possibly another sagebrush top. Definitely got enough fabric with 2 meters to get sagebrush top out of it. I don't think with 2 meters I've got enough for a dress. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this piece of fabric. This one is probably going to go into my stash for now, but I definitely want to get this one sewn up as soon as possible. I don't want it to languish. Got a thread there. I don't want it to languish in my stash for too long, but I don't have a definite plan for this one just yet, but hopefully soon I will. So those are the fabrics that I've been buying this week, and I've obviously got those 2 new patterns too, which has been lovely. My plans for the week, as I've said, are to sew up the sagebrush top in the white fabric with the feathers, and hopefully to sew up the hug hoodie too, which I just think will be so nice. So quite a short and sweet video from me today, but before I go, I just wanted to mention a YouTuber that I am really enjoying, and the channel is called What Bex Sews. Bex has got I think about 6 videos out currently, and she's just a lovely, bubbly, warm personality, very engaging and fun to watch. So I just thought it would be nice to give Bex a shout out on my channel. I know that other people have done this for me in the past, and I think it's a really nice thing to do, and I have had some feedback on my last video that people liked the fact that I'd mentioned a few other YouTubers, because it gave them more people to look into and enjoy watching their videos as well. So that's something I will try and remember to do in the future as well. Oh, and before I go, I will just mention what I'm wearing, because I forgot to do that at the beginning. I always forget. I'm wearing a Tilly and Buttons Lotta dress in, again, a feather fabric. I must have a thing for feathers, and I didn't really realise. This fabric is from Rainbow Fabrics, and it was some time ago now, so they definitely won't have this one in stock. With Rainbow Fabrics, if you like a fabric, you buy it there and then, because it won't be there the next time you go back. But I think I bought this as a remnant piece for them probably at least a year ago, if not more, so it definitely won't be in stock now. But the Lotta pattern is a great pattern for beginner sewists. It's very, very simple. It's got a grown on sleeve, so you don't have to worry about setting in a sleeve or anything, although you can add an additional sort of bracelet sleeve onto it if you want to. You can make it in 2 different lengths, so I've gone for a sort of a knee length type option, but you can make a midi length as well. And as I say, a really simple, easy wear, easy to make pattern, and great for beginners. I think that's all from me today, folks. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. And until next video, take care, happy sewing. Bye bye.